A foundational rule of modern marketing is that companies cannot effectively connect with every customer in a broad, diverse market. The concept of a single, uniform mass market is a strategic illusion. Real markets are intensely varied, composed of individuals with vastly different needs. To manage this variety, marketers use the three-step framework shown here, known as STP: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. The first step, segmentation, is the process of analyzing the broad market to identify distinct groups of buyers who share similar needs. The second step, targeting, involves strategically selecting one or more profiled segments to enter and serve. The final output is positioning, establishing and communicating the distinctive benefits of your offering to that specific audience. Without the analytical prerequisites of segmenting and targeting, subsequent marketing efforts lack the data-driven foundation required to reach specific audiences effectively. A market segment is a group of customers sharing similar wants. To find these groups among thousands of customers, we slice the data using specific variables. The baseline approach uses geographic and demographic variables, dividing the market by lines like region, age, and income. However, demographic brackets alone rarely predict actual purchasing behavior. Two consumers in the same zip code with identical incomes often make entirely different buying decisions. To get closer to actual behavior, marketers apply psychographic variables. Frameworks like the VAL system evaluate internal traits like consumer motivation and resourcefulness, reclustering the market based on shared lifestyles and values. The final granular layer is behavioral segmentation, looking strictly at how consumers act toward a product. This categorizes buyers by metrics like usage rates, separating heavy versus light users to find where the bulk of demand originates. It also categorizes by loyalty status, identifying hardcore loyals, shifting buyers who move between brands, and absolute switchers who seek variety. High-efficacy consumer segments represent the calculated intersection of physical location, internal psychology, and observable behavior. Analyzing business markets requires an entirely different set of variables. Marketers look first at operating variables, examining the specific technologies a client uses and their prescribing attitudes toward vendors. Next is the purchasing approach. Selling to a centralized procurement office requires a different strategy than a decentralized, department-led organization. General purchasing policies dictate the approach, distinguishing between firms requiring strict, blind bidding processes and those preferring direct, relationship-based orders. Finally, situational factors, such as the urgency of fulfillment and average order sizes, allow marketers to isolate highly specific business needs. B2B segmentation requires understanding the internal bureaucratic machinery of a company just as clearly as its external market position. When LinkedIn entered the social networking space in 2003, they actively ignored the broad mass market strategy favored by their competitors. Creating economic opportunities strictly for professionals paid off, culminating in an IPO on May 19, 2011, proving the financial viability of their distinct targeting model. They built a diverse revenue stream by dividing their user base into three distinct behavioral segments. The first segment is job seekers, categorized by the behavior of career transition and targeted with premium tools. The second is a B2B segment, corporate recruiters, targeted with high-tier talent solution tools. The third segment is advertisers, targeted via the marketing unit for businesses seeking to reach career-minded professionals. LinkedIn's valuation is a direct result of replacing an undifferentiated mass market approach with a precision-engineered multi-segment model. Transitioning from segmentation to the targeting phase requires a critical realization. Merely identifying a segment does not mandate serving it. To determine viability, marketers push potential segments through a strict filtration system based on 5 requirements. First, a segment must be measurable, meaning its size and purchasing power can be quantified, and substantial, ensuring the group is large and profitable. It must be accessible, meaning the segment can be reached, and differentiable, meaning it responds distinctively to a tailored marketing mix. Finally, it must be actionable. The firm has to possess the actual internal resources and capabilities required to attract and serve that specific group. Once segments pass this filter, a company evaluates their structural attractiveness, utilizing Porter's 5 Forces framework. They measure the threat of substitute products, the risk of new entrants, and the bargaining power of buyers and suppliers to gauge long-term profitability. Based on those resources and threats, a firm makes its final strategic choice, committing to an undifferentiated, differentiated, concentrated, or customized targeting strategy. Targeting is inherently a process of exclusion. Deciding who not to serve is as critical as deciding who to serve. Effective targeting provides the precise coordinates needed for this positioning to land successfully. Ultimately, the rigorous execution of segmentation and targeting allows a brand to bypass the noise of the monolith, positioning its resources where they can most effectively withstand competitive pressure.